Hello and welcome to Reality TV News Update, where you'll find the most recent news, entertaining moments, and exclusive behind-the-scenes content. Taran Armstrong, a writer and podcaster best known for his coverage of Big Brother, just published a deep dive into the CBS competition. The book isn't fluff, but a thoughtful, personal, critical take on the long-running, successful, and frequently problematic show. In this excerpt from Behind the Mirror, Taran writes about what drew him to the world of Big Brother, its fandom, and whether or not its existence is justifiable. You can buy his book wherever you find books or get the audiobook. It's 3 a.m. on a Saturday night. A soundstage resembling a house on the edge of a studio lot has been used to herd a group of 16 strangers who have all left their normal lives behind. I watched them sleep from 3,000 miles away, and some of them will live here for 100 days. For the last 10 years, I've turned this into my job. However, I've been doing it for a lot longer. On the screen in front of me is a grid of 4 camera feeds, glowing with the green of infrared night vision. From inside this house, each of the 4 feeds depicts a different angle, and on each of them is a sleeping individual. 90 additional cameras are strategically placed throughout the house to record each individual's every movement. On the bottom right feed, I see someone shift in their bed. This might be the one. I'm not the only one watching. Thousands of people from all corners of the country are staring at the same 4 camera feeds. Many more people are fast asleep and will wake up to find out what happened on this lot in Studio City. However, not me. I must be present for this. I watch someone quietly get out of their bed with my eyes fixed on the feed in the bottom right. My stomach drops. It is taking place. I pull up my notes and start typing. The absurd idea of putting 12 strangers in a house and streaming the live feeds of them online for anyone to see was Big Brother, which was named after the classic 1984 movie. It first aired on CBS 25 years ago and was named after the movie. It is an appropriate concept for the early days of reality television in the year 2000, when that term actually seemed to have some meaning. There's an almost naive optimism to the idea that access to the actual footage of a show wouldn't compromise the storytelling ability of its editors. Yet, here we are 25 years later, and the live feeds for Big Brother remain a cornerstone of its hardcore fan base and an essential part of the show's longevity. It's easy to take Big Brother for granted. It's a silly show with silly challenges and marketing. Survivor, its sibling show, takes itself much more seriously and tends to attract an audience that isn't quite as ashamed to admit they watch it. Despite its colossal success, in a world where reality TV is considered popcorn TV at best and trash TV at worst, Big Brother struggles to keep its reputation out of the bin. And that's before you tell people about watching the players sleep. I promise I'm not a creep. Or maybe I am. I suppose that's for you to decide. Before you do, let me make a case for myself and for this silly reality show that's come to define my life in ways I never could have imagined. Because it is ultimately a distilled reflection of the society in which it exists, there is a rich landscape of social strategy, real human moments, relationships, and game theory hidden behind that silly exterior. I genuinely believe there is no other piece of media that has as much to say or teach as Big Brother does, silliness and all. For a decade now, I've made covering Big Brother my career. It began with a recap of the episodes and now includes daily live feeds from the house. Every morning, thousands of people tune in to have me fill them in on what's been happening in the game while I give my commentary and analysis on the strategy of the contestants. My life becomes devoted to keeping an eye on the lives of the people on this show every day for 3 months at a time. I observe them as they meet, judge, come together, break up, open up, lie, betray, and compete for power. As the layers of the players' behavior in this high-stress environment where trust is scarce are revealed, it is the ultimate character study.
While I may have turned this voyeurism into how I make my living, I'm far from the only person who falls into the rabbit hole of Big Brother and the live feeds every summer. The show's dedicated fan base has kept the show alive and well into its third decade on the air, with no signs of slowing down. In fact, Big Brother 24 boasted the highest viewing time of any streaming series in the months that it was airing. Because the feeds run 24/7, discussion about the show is constantly dominating online spaces like Reddit and Twitter, to the point that many fans keep themselves caught up with the events on the feeds through social media alone. Popular contestants from the show can expect to come out of the house with hundreds of thousands of followers, offers to go on other shows like The Challenge or The Traders, and if all else fails, a career selling flat tummy tea on Instagram. The Big Brother community is a ferocious and intense one. Even casual viewers of the show still tend to tune in to CBS for the show's 3-episode weekly schedule. It's a show that invades your life with its overwhelming presence. The game never ends, so you never know when something exciting might happen. It's possible that your favorite player has just prevailed over an important ally or been cast into the wolves. All you need to do is check Twitter or listen to the latest live feed update podcast. Better yet, tune in yourself and maybe you'll be there when something happens that changes the whole course of the game. There's a darkness to all of this, of course. Parasocial relationships flourish in this kind of environment, and many players come out of the house with an onslaught of people who feel like they know them. What are you doing buying that kind of car? Don't you know this would suit you better? Why are you hanging out with this person? Don't you know what they said about you on day 47 in the house? While the show is not in the business of streaming people going to the bathroom or changing, or yes, sometimes hooking up, that doesn't mean that players aren't going to come out of the house to a slew of screenshots of them in compromising or embarrassing situations, and that's tending to be the least of their worries. Many of the players I've spoken to over the years have described themselves as having symptoms of PTSD after playing the game. It can take some people years to get back to their normal lives and learn to trust other people again. 100 days is a long time to spend completely cut off from the rest of society, living in a reality where one wrong move can lead to your demise in the game. Even the successful players have talked about how hard it is to get out of the mindset where they are supposed to trick and manipulate people they care about every day. And this is before all of the scrutiny they undergo from having millions of people watching their every move for months. It's not all bad, though, at least in comparison to other reality shows. While live feeds can mean more scrutiny, they also mean more truth, more actual reality. It's an open secret that going on a reality show means giving up the ability to control your own narrative. Editors can make you into America's sweetheart just as easily as they can make you a pathetic villain. The live feeds are a layer of defense against this. They hold the Big Brother producers and editors more accountable than they would be otherwise. One of the best recent examples of this is Taylor Hale from season 24. Taylor Hale was picked out early on in the game as a house punching bag and was bullied, targeted, and made to believe that her own attitude and actions were the cause of her harassment, despite the fact that she was a former Miss Congeniality and one of the most popular players the show has ever seen. The show didn't seem to know how to show the situation at first. Every person in the house seemed to back up the narrative that Taylor was a terrible person who deserved what was coming to her. Most shows would take that easy narrative and run with it, playing some dodo music and just dunking on the person for cheap laughs. However, Big Brother, facing pressure from the live feed audience, was forced to take the more difficult approach of showcasing more of the nuance of the situation. The thought of living in that house without access to live feeds round the clock makes my stomach turn. I'm genuinely afraid anyone could have a similar experience to me and not be believed leaving the house. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Live feeds are the sun. Big Brother 24's Taylor Hale. Whether this is more of a defense for live feeds or an indictment of reality television as a whole is another story. After all, there has to be some level of complicity in the awful behavior that we watch for our own entertainment. In recent years, more and more scrutiny has been leveled at players for racist or misogynistic behavior in the house. Debate has raged among the community about how to handle it. In 2020, CBS set a casting mandate that 50% of all casts in their reality shows must be Black, Indigenous, or people of color. This had an immediate impact, as the first season to air under this rule made history with an alliance of Black players dominating the game and managing to get every one of their 6 members to the end.
Social issues, whether or not the producers like it. The show's seasons have all been affected by power dynamics, violence threats, outside interference, and actual events that happened outside of the game. During the live stream-only season of Big Brother's Over the Top spinoff, a video of house guests finding out the 2016 election results went viral. Going all the way back to the show's second season, they had to tell the house guests about 9/11 and nearly canceled the whole show as debates raged about whether a show as frivolous as this should even be on the air. Is this show necessary? There are numerous areas we must investigate in order to provide an answer to that question. I have first-hand experience with the kind of harm it can inflict on its contestants and the toxic fervor it can generate in its community. Even though the show isn't the worst in its genre, that doesn't make it any less guilty. Although there are dedicated psychologists on set, many players have found this resource to be inadequate, feeling as if they were just sent on their way with the advice to avoid looking at their phone for a little while. Then there are those issues of representation. What kind of standards need to be applied to the casting process? How much should the show interfere to protect the players from harmful behavior? It's an incredibly complicated line to walk, made more difficult by the fact that the producers can't hide most of it away behind an edit. There's a story to tell here about a Dutch man named John de Mol, a biosphere experiment that took place in Oracle, Arizona, and of the ways that, for better or worse, Big Brother and reality TV took the world by storm and changed popular culture forever. Then there are the people who actually lived in this alternate reality and came out the other side changed. There are those who create the show, portraying gods in their own 1984. Then there are the players who actually lived in this alternate reality and came out the other side changed. I'll be pulling from the hundreds of hours I've spent interviewing contestants and speaking to fans in my time covering the show, including many interviews conducted specifically for this book. The community of people who huddle around a screen at 3 a.m. on a Saturday night to watch someone sleep because the impending revolution in the house might be called off if he doesn't wake up soon is me and every other member of this community who fell into the rabbit hole of Big Brother and never found their way out. Nothing excites me more than watching these events unfold in real time. It's fresh. All of these issues will be discussed in this book, which also tries to convey what it's like to have been hooked on something that seems impossible to explain, while also telling the story of this show and how it took over our culture. My love for the show goes deeper than the entertainment value. It goes back to being a shy kid who felt like he didn't belong anywhere. I can't remember a time Big Brother wasn't in my life, shaping the way I saw the world. The show became my constant companion as I dealt with the difficulties of childhood. It was a summertime tradition that taught me a whole new way of thinking. As I grew older, my obsession deepened. I started looking for the mechanisms behind the social strategy in the game, hoping I could learn from these strangers on the other side of the country. Then somehow this obsession turned into a profession, as I was able to connect with an audience that was as eager to decipher these insights as I was. Seeing a reflection of society condensed and made into a game was a revelation to me. When someone has power over you in real life, there is typically little you can do about it. The tools are easily accessible if you participate in Big Brother. The power can shift every week. You can win a competition or sway people to your cause and upend the social structure of the house. It's a hypnotic fantasy that will appeal to a wide range of people. Anybody who ever had to navigate the social hierarchy of grade school or deal with workplace politics or any power structure in their life can relate to the game of Big Brother. More than that, everybody plays their own game of Big Brother every day of their lives. Everyone can find something to connect to in this show because it's just us. Taran's exploration continues in Behind the Mirror. Buy the book at bookshop.org, on Amazon, or wherever you buy books. This excerpt is copyright 2025 Taran Armstrong and is reprinted with the author's permission.